10-day hip mobility challenge, day 1. Here we go. Slowly bend your knees to the side. And without forcing the movements, and then just let your spine and let your rib cage be as relaxed as possible. So don't hold it rigid. And make sure you breathe freely. Don't hold your breath. So just go through these movements and very, very slowly and gently. And 10 to 15 times each directions. And 3 sets. And 2 times today. And that's it. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 2. Here we go. And starting in side sitting positions, leaning on your hand, and then you start to move your hip away from the floor, and then moving it down towards the floor. And repeat that movement, and you should feel the engagement of the glutes as you lift it away from the floor. And then as you move it down towards the floor, and then you'll feel some stretching in the deep hip joint. And you do that about 10 to 15 times each side, and then we'll switch over to the other side, and then repeat the same movement. But don't force the movement. And I would do 3 sets, 10 to 15 repetitions on each, and then twice a day. That's it. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 3. Here we go. Starting sitting on the floor with your legs bent, hanging onto your legs with your hands. And roll your pelvis back and round your spine and slide your feet down. And then roll your pelvis forward and lengthen your spine, slide your feet towards you. And alternate these movements. But at 10 to 15 times slowly and 3 sets. Then as you roll your pelvis forward and lengthen your spine, and you should feel the stretch in the deep hip joint. That's it. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 4. Here we go. And sitting with the soles of feet together and leaning on your hands behind you. And then gently roll your pelvis forward and lengthen your spine. And roll your pelvis back and round your spine. And alternate these movements. And you should feel the stretch in your hips, and particularly when you roll the pelvis forward. Okay, and so you repeat these movements 10 to 15 times in each direction without forcing. And then 3 sets. And you do that twice a day, and enjoy your day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 5. Here we go. Starting on your hands and knees. And sliding the leg back. And slide your leg forward. And then bring that leg around and to sit sideways. And then reverse that. And slide your leg back again till you feel the stretching. Slide your leg forward and bring it around to the other side and to sit and sideways. And alternate these movements about 10 to 15 times in each directions. And switch sides and repeat 3 sets. And you do that twice a day. And that's it. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 6. And here we go. We're going to sit on the floor and grab a hold of your foot from the outside. And then moving your foot to the outside of the other leg, and then put it down on the floor. And then now move your leg and to put it behind, and so you'll be sitting and sideways. And as you do these movements, and the key is to keep your spine and keep your rib cage and be as soft and mobile as possible instead of holding it rigidly. And go through these movements about 10 to 15 times in each leg, and about 3 sets slowly without forcing it, and twice a day. And that's it. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge, day 7. Here we go. This is a little challenging one. And starting on your knees, and slide your right leg back, and then driving with the left hip to come up to half kneeling position. Then you should feel the stretch in the hip flexors on the left side as you come up to the half kneeling, driving the movement from the glutes to transition to the half kneeling. And try this one. I would say 10 times is probably plenty. 2 to 3 sets in each leg. And this will get glute strengthening and the hip flexor stretching at the same time twice a day. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge day 8. Here we go. Starting sitting on the floor with the knees bent and leaning back on your hands and driving through your feet and your hands and to lift your hips, okay, away from the floor. And you should feel the opening through the front of your hips and at the same time engagement of the hip extensors, your glute muscles. So really emphasize the movement coming from your hips primarily so you don't feel strain in your lower back. And going through this movement slowly 10 to 15 times and in about 3 sets and twice a day. Have a nice day. 10-day hip mobility challenge day 9. Here we go. Starting in plank positions and bringing your leg as far forward as you can and put your foot down and then switch over to the other side. Alternate the movement. It is okay to turn your pelvis and twist your spine, and you are going to be mobilizing the whole spine. And this is great, and not only for your hip mobility, but it's also for spine mobility and core strength. And going through this movement 10 to 15 times on each leg, 3 sets, 2 times a day. So you are going to enjoy this one. Have a great day. 10-day hip mobility challenge day 10, the last day. Nice job sticking to the last day. So let's start on your hands and knees positions. Walk your hands towards your legs and getting into the squat positions, pushing through your feet and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your hamstrings and lower your hips down. Walk your hands forward again and get back onto your hands and knees positions. And slowly repeat this movement 10 times, 3 sets, and 2 times a day. And that's it for the last one. And hopefully by the end of the 10 days, you're sticking to this routine every day. You are feeling more mobile through your hips and the spine. So I hope you enjoy the challenge. 10-day hip mobility challenge. This is a bonus day. This is a fun one. So you're going to put the shoe on the sole of your foot and then from lying down from your back and slowly rolling onto your stomach without letting the shoe fall off of your foot, and then coming back, returning back onto your back, and then you can roll onto the other side while keeping the shoe on the sole of your foot. And this requires not only the hip mobility but also the spine, hip mobility, and the coordination. And this is a fun one, so give it a try and have fun.